So yeah, I started taking action. I started going out, and yeah, like going to parties and just getting around the people I wanted to be around. And for the first time, I felt like I made it. Like I'm cool. Like I've actually done it. Like, do you know what I mean? And to be honest, it was quite overwhelming. Like I didn't. It was almost a bit too much. Like it was so much. I'd always been so used to just being like, just at home, playing my Xbox, like not really getting out my comfort zone, and just doing the easy thing, doing the path, or what it would be called is the path of least resistance. You know what I mean? And yeah, it did feel very, like it was a lot to take in, and I don't think I felt worthy of, like, I didn't feel like I was cool enough. So what happened was I kind of did these cool things, but I went back into where I was. Now, but what this taught me was, it was like, okay, so I was there, I lost it, but I want it back. Like, I want that where I was back. So I start working. I'm like, dude, okay, you're dressing like a fucking idiot. Do you know what I mean? I started pushing myself, started being like, what the fuck are you doing? Sort your life out. Do you know what I mean? And it was a mental battle, like, with myself. No one was telling me to do this. Everyone was quite happy the way I was, because I'm just a loser. Like, no one cares about me. Do you know what I mean? So for me though, I was like, I have to do this. Like, I gotta push myself. So started, trying to earn some money, buying some clothes, trying to, like, get myself to a standard, where I feel comfortable, where I feel I think even just wearing clothes, like, at that point in time, if you'd have put me in, like, I don't know, just as an example, because I'm wearing it, like a North Face shirt, I would feel, because that's kind of like a brand that cool people wear, I guess, it would make me feel like, am I really supposed to be doing this? Like, do you know what I mean? Am I trying to be someone I'm not? Do you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable. I wouldn't feel like I'm allowed to, because I'm not a cool kid. So I'm trying to be cool, but I'm not. Do you know what I mean? That's how I felt. And to be honest, if you do feel like this, then, do you know what I mean? Don't, because you can wear whatever you want. Do you know what I mean? Like, one day I'll be wearing Gucci, I'll be wearing Louis Vuitton, I'll be wearing it all. I don't give a fuck. Do you know what I mean? I'm not afraid to go to that extreme. I'm not gonna feel like I don't deserve to wear that, because I believe I do. I believe I believe I deserve to have money. Do you know what I mean? Money is something that opens doors for freedom and stuff. That's something where I'm not at now, but these are some of my future goals. You know what I mean? Like, to work on my own business or career or profession or craft, and just absolutely hammer it and work my fucking ass off, because that's what I've done, and that's how I've become good. Like, where I am now. Like, I literally worked in a sense, but every day I was, like, pushing myself and working on myself and trying to get out of my comfort zone, trying to take a step. And it's hard, because when you're coming from that frame of, like, scarcity, and you're in this sort of, like, coping state where you're like, you need something, and you're so desperate for the outcome. As soon as you become desperate for your outcome, that's when it's taken away from you, because it's like football teams, when they're, like, very desperate to get that win, to get that final goal, it takes it away. But when it comes naturally, that's when they're the most efficient. So for me, what the big change for me was when I turned 18. When I turned 18, I could go out, I could start going clubbing, and yeah, that was the big one, and it still is now. Like, I go out all the time, and I think it's important, because you're interacting with people, you're building up your confidence. Like, I remember when I went out, that story when I was in that club in Spain, just talking to those girls. To me, in my head at the time, that was the biggest deal ever. Literally, I thought I was on cloud nine. I literally thought I was the coolest person ever. That I do on the daily. That I literally, it's no big deal. Like, that's nothing really compared to what I get up to now. The things I'm doing now, like, even the things that, recently I thought was mad, isn't even that mad. Like, it's only amazing for a little bit of time. It's kind of like, if you play any sports or something, say there's, like, that shot you want to hit, that really cool, like, I don't know, you want to, say it's in gaming, there's a little, like, combination thing you can do on the keyboard, and you do it. Hopefully people can relate to this. You do it, and then at the time you think it's sick, and you're like, oh my god, that's so cool. But then, as you progress as a player, as a sportsman or whatever, that's nothing. That's, like, the norm for you. And that's exactly the same with me. It's like, some of these things that I was doing, where I was talking to these girls and stuff and getting attraction, I thought was insane, but then in reality, it's nothing. And like, the things I'm doing now, still, even now, I still want to push myself. There's still places to go, and I love it. Look, I literally love it. Like, women and females, they are literally the gift of like God. Do you know what I mean? They are the reason why we work our asses off, because they don't put up with bullshit. They don't put up with your pathetic loserness. Okay, they only want what's best for them. Like, I'm not talking about just any girl. I'm talking about high quality, attractive, top, cool people, like very attractive girls that are high quality, have lots of friends, have a lot going for them. They won't put up with your bullshit. They're not gonna go with some loser. Do you know what I mean? And it's not even about the way you look. Like, it's not even about that. It's about the emotions you can give them, like the value that you offer. And I'm not even talking about, like, in terms of value. I'm not even talking about money. I'm not even talking about like, material and stuff. I'm talking about, I guess you could say, emotions. I mean, again, like, I'm no expert, because I don't even have a girlfriend. Do you know what I mean? I've only gone out and just like I built up my just my width. And that's the thing that Tyler was talking about in one of his videos. He says, like, you can have width, but it's one thing to have width, but it's another thing to have depth. And what I mean by that is, by width, I mean I could go out and talk to almost any girl and make a conversation and potentially build attraction and potentially, take things further. But it's another thing to get one girl and then go very deep with her and actually, like, build a relationship. And that's something that I can't really do. Like, if I'm honest, like, I struggle with that. I'll go on a night out and I'll have all these, like, people surrounding me and stuff, and it's crazy. But then I can't even, there's certain girls that I just obsess over, because I want them so much that it, like, again, it takes away things. So I'm in no way perfect. I'm literally, you might think I'm good, like I've done well. I don't know. No, you haven't seen what I get up to. But yeah, just in general, like I've done a lot. So in terms of me going out and taking action, the thing that started for me, so the first time I went out was like near the end of Christmas, because I just turned 18. We went to a club near where I live, and I was like, at this point, I was okay. My game was alright. So I started talking to these girls and stuff, like a few girls, different girls, and like, my mates were like, they all mocked me because, I'd say stupid things like I'm gay and stuff, because that's kind of like where I was at the time. And they'd all mock me and they'd be like, oh, you're so weird, like, why would you think that works, blah, blah, blah. So they're like, they point at these girls like, oh, go tell those girls you're gay. So I'm just like, alright. So I turn around, walk to these girls, I'm like, hi guys, hi, I said something like, hi, I just came over to say that I'm gay. Just wanted to, like, share, I'm like trying to get out my, the closet, I guess. And they kind of like, they're like, alright, what are you on about, bro? And we sort of talked, and this was good, because I was talking to these two girls, and all my friends were in the background, like, laughing at me and shit, and I was sort of like, I was ignoring them, and I was just sort of focusing in on them. And this one girl, she could see, she respected me. She was like, you've got balls, man. You just came up here, and you just, like, took that risk to talk to us, and I respect you for that. And I can see that your friends are being dicks, but, I respect you for that. And she did. I can see it in her eyes, because I could just feel it. Do you know what I mean? Like, and nothing happened. They left, but, like, just that alone, and no one else could see that. No, all they saw was me, getting rejected, but no one else could see that. And what happened there? Do you know what I mean? That's the level that I'm at. These guys aren't even, the competition in terms of game is like, there's no competition. Literally, there's no one out there. Like, very few people. Only the cool people. Only, like, people that have had relationships and, like, they're so-called naturals, where they've had sex at like 12, 13, 14, 15, and they know what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? It's a natural thing for them. But for other people, they're like 18, 19, they're still virgins. Do you know what I mean? So, don't get this twisted. I'm not saying if you're a virgin, like, you're not you're a bad, like, do you know what I mean? Everyone's different, and we all come from this. Oh, but yeah.